We're about to go into the news review segment where we get to have a conversation on some topical issues dominating the media space. We also like to hear from you, so this is an invitation we're extending to you to join us with your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. Let us know what you think about the various stories or topics that we'll be discussing. You can do so via our WhatsApp number on your screens. You can drop a comment in our live feed, which is up on Facebook as well as on YouTube, and I'll share your thoughts on our X page as well as our Instagram page. And let us know what you think. We'll do our best to read them out for you on the show. But before we get into that, it's the birthday of NIA Kome, the king of Accra. So if you listen to our entertainment highlights, the voice that you hear every morning during entertainment highlights, the king of Accra, yeah. And if you hear some beats that starts with, it's the king of Accra, yeah, that guy. Today is his birthday and we're wishing him God's blessings. We're asking that God will continue to favor him. May he continue to bless his heart and his hands, and whatever he finds to do, may it be a blessing unto him and all others who encounter him. It's also the birthday of Douglas. He is with our transport team. Douglas, we say happy birthday to you as well. God continue to bless you and favor you. Now, we're about to go into the conversations. I'd like to say a very good morning to Alhaji Kamaldeen Abdullah. Alhaji Kamaldeen Abdullah is the Deputy National Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party, NPP. Alhaji, good morning to you.
Good morning, Nana.
I would trust you're well.
I'm terrific, and I guess you're well too.
I'm super. I'm doing well.
Thanks for having me this morning.
Has the fast ended?
No,
officially.
Yet. Today, given the configuration of the moon that we expect, which normally actually marks the beginning and the ending of the fast. I believe this evening we shall start trying to sight the moon, because some would have, those who started on Wednesday are likely to be sighting the moon today.
Right.
And those of us who started on Thursday also will still follow, because the Quran says it's either 29 days or 30 days. So if the moon is sighted today, then we cannot fast tomorrow.
Okay.
That is the principle. But if the moon is not sighted, then it means that we have to continue fasting till tomorrow. But tomorrow will give us 30 days in all. Then, of course, that would actually usher us into the Eid al-Fitr on Friday. If the moon is sighted and is evidently sighted, okay, and reported, then all of us will not fast. Okay, there are those who will do the Eid tomorrow, and there are those who wait and do the Eid on Friday. Those of us who started on Thursday, I'm just trying to explain this. Those who started on Thursday would have to not fast at all and wait on Friday to have the Eid, which is not also out of place anyway. But of course, we're just trying to see that we are at the tail end of it. Anyway.
So Eid al-Fitr is what we'll be celebrating.
Absolutely.
Marking the end of the fast.
Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of the fast. Which in Hausa, many people say this is the small Salah, Salah, and then the Baba Salah.
So this is the Ramadan.
The Eid al-Adha is the other one.
Eid al-Adha is the one that marks the sacrifice of Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
Well. Very well. All right, let's get into our business of the day. The SIM registration is back. For 2 years, we went through a process of registering our SIM cards from 2021 to 2023. Thereabouts. We embarked on a SIM registration exercise in this country. And today, we're being told that we are going to engage in, I don't want to say same exercise, but a similar one, because the minister is giving some assurances that consumers will be prioritized in this matter. But what is troubling for me is that the NCA, National Communications Authority, says that the data of that registration that we embark on, an audit of that data reveals 0 fingerprint matches with the data at the National Identification Authority. But we did this exercise with our Ghana cards. So what data were we recording, and where did that pass?
National, who you said? Which
National Communications Authority
says the data doesn't match.
It doesn't match
at all.
At all.
And of course, we also registered with our
Ghana cards. Our biometrics were taken, just as same was taken for the
this country,
Ghana card.
Let me once again say good morning to you and good morning to the viewers out there. And start by saying that we have a lot of work to do as a country. In the sense that the people who put at the helm of affairs usually pursue their parochial interest and not the public interest. Usually. You see, and I'm saying this without any reservation. Why? The current Minister for Communication, Sam George, is quoted to have said that ours isn't a SIM registration. This is a proper SIM registration.
It's quoted where?
Unquote. Quoted on my jaw online.
Very well.
Okay? Ours isn't a SIM registration. This is a proper SIM registration. Simply, if you are going to analyze what he has said, what it means is that we don't even have SIM registration at all.
So the previous exercise is invalid.
If this is what he actually said, what it means is that this country hasn't got any SIM registration, which I beg to differ.
Really?
Completely. I beg to completely differ. You may have some, if you like, a bit of errors. You see, because this is technical. These are machines. These are human beings who put their hands on them. You may have some, if you like, discrepancies a bit, some inaccuracies somewhere. But you cannot rule out that we never did a SIM registration in this country. When in fact, as a member of parliament, as a member of the committee, you were aware that the process went through. You just asked a very profound question, Nana. That did we use our Ghana cards to do the registration or not? And the answer is in the affirmative. We did.
True.
Now, before you acquire a Ghana card, look at the rigorous process you go through.
True.
All these fingers are captured. Okay? So when somebody says there's no matching fingerprints, it is at someone's fault or as a result of someone's fault. Maybe at the process of synchronizing. And come out to tell us. But don't tell us that there's no SIM registration at all, and therefore I want to do it. Look, we cannot live on the whims and caprices of some people who believe their egos is what saved Ghana. No. Why? Are you telling me that Ghana spent money and did nothing? If you are saying there's no SIM registration at all, and then you come in as a government, knowing that money was actually budgeted for this process, and the process was done, now your position as a minister there is that nothing like that has been done, and that person who is supposed to have spearheaded that earlier is walking free, and you think the public purse is needless, we cannot hold the person to book? Really? Sam George should think again and come again. No, honestly, I'm sad.
Really?
You see, that is why I keep saying this. Whoever is culpable when it comes to depleting the public purse, whether it's my mother, my father, my son, my brother, whoever that person, even if it's myself, let the law deal with the person. So you cannot come as a minister who has received handing over notes, who knows that at least you have worked on this as a country before, and then you come to tell us nothing was done. Now you have a new SIM registration, and that money that was spent, what was it meant for? And you are not chasing it for us? And you call yourself an honorable minister and an honorable member of parliament? And when we talk, the best you can do is to throw jabs? Really? Sam George should come again. The best they could have done is to tell us that, look, having reviewed the data, synchronizing it, we have some few problems. And we still think that fraud still persists as a result of not having an accurate data. We have several millions of people who have registered for this particular, mobile networks or with telcos. And they are not properly captured. So we want to review it and go through it again to be able to sanitize the system and have a credible data. This is actually sweet to the ear.
But he's giving some explanations to this fact.
I just quoted him. Unless they lied. They say ours isn't a SIM registration. This is a proper SIM registration.
This is one quote of him. This is one quote of him.
Interpreted.
But he's reported on different platforms.
There's a headline here.
Giving valid reasons for the exercise.
Look, it is create, loot, and share. I will not shudder to say this.
Do we know the budget for the entire exercise?
Of course, we have to go into it. That's why I said that somebody used budget yesterday. And if that was not done and that budget for some reason you think that was needless, then it means that there has been a financial loss. And if a financial loss has been occasioned, there is a law in this country that goes after that person. And you as a minister, if you claim that you are so sacrosanct, you are so clean, and that you are somebody who will fight against corruption, who will protect the public purse, then it is about time that after review you're handing over, you tell us that so and so person ought to be investigated for doing this. You haven't done that. You have just sat down from your dream, you get up and say, oh, we want to do system registration again.
An audit has been done, over 2 million subscribers that were audited. It's established that there's a zero match.
If you listened to me earlier, I'm saying that these are machines we work with. I have not ruled out errors.
True.
And clerical, if you like, imperfections.
True.
Whatever, or in the course of it, technical imperfections. I have not ruled out that. So if we have so number, and you have established as a mismatch, what you have to do is to even do re-registration for those 2 million people. You understand what I mean? If you indeed have actually established that these are 2 million people, and given our verification, we do not have matching fingerprints. These 2 million people, you can verify them.
Right.
You can say that, look, X, Y, Z we have done, we haven't had this, we think that this ought to be done again. But don't come and then let it look as if nothing has been done at all. Why? We listened to some God when we were doing same registration. He was all over, poo-pooing it. Okay, we listened to him. So is it to satisfy his ego because he made some comments? Or what? So I think that the communication is quite bad and low. And again, it's going to cost this nation some millions of cedis again. That is why I'm saying that look at it properly. Somebody is sitting somewhere wanting to create loot and share. For me, I think this exercise is needless. We don't have to go through it. We should do an audit of what we have. And if there are some discrepancies we have established, you liaise with NIA and say, okay, these are the names. This doesn't match. Can we do this again and see how the numbers have been registered? You can call them, issue text messages to them, bulk one or broadcast it, then they will come and re-register again, as it were. It's so simple when we do this. But why do you want to look like you are doing something that is extraordinary? Nothing extraordinary out of this. It is just deplete the funds of Mother Ghana and nothing else.
Alaji, thank you. Let me say good morning and welcome to the Member of Parliament for the Honorable Alfred Nikote Ashi.
I think this is my first time meeting Honorable.
Yes, I think this is actually your first time on the show.
This is my very first time being here. Yes, and I must say,
nice meeting you.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Have you? Yes, your predecessor is a regular here. Yeah, the Honorable Wonder Boy.
I took over, so I'm going to take over here too.
Indeed. But welcome. We're discussing this matter of SIM registration. The Honorable actually says this is not a re-registration. This is a registration, and this will be final. So your thoughts?
First of all, let me say a very big thank you to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for the wonderful work he's doing for this country. Let me also...
He has embarked on a research tour. He's starting to do.
Let me also say... back to the issues. What are we actually talking about? We are talking about a policy review, which after instituting such policy, the New Patriotic Party's government failed to do over time. That
they failed?
If they had done a review of the policy they instituted, then they would have noticed all these things. We have taken over, like you said. My brother Sam George was handed over, the notes when they took over office.
Yeah.
He didn't go to sleep. He actually worked and has realized these are the shortcomings with the policy, that was established. But you see, I'm not amazed. Sorry. Of course, I'm not amazed because it is very usual with the MPP. They are very quick to rush into, doing things for political expediency. But we as the NDC believe strongly in the 5 P's principles, what you call proper planning prevents poor performance. In fact, You recall, before I even go on to this substantive matter, you recall how they hurriedly instituted, after we had done the pilot, what we wanted to be the National Health Insurance scheme, that they ended up coming up with a district health insurance scheme such that when you are at Kwame Nkrumah Circle and you have your ID, your health card, when you come to Tesano, you can't use it. Because, when we came to power, we were not that reckless. We took our time and made it better, such that if you're in Accra and you go to Tamale, you can use your national health insurance. But
the district health insurance scheme was a pilot for the national health insurance.
No, we had already piloted it with one of these Catholic institutions, and we were going to roll it out before they took over. And these records are
in
there.
the Bono area.
Thank you. You know it. These records are there. Internet no lie. You can Google it right now, isn't it? Very well. Similarly, for political expediency, they rushed into instituting this free SHS policy, which has now become what public administrators will call a wicked problem. Really? A problem that you attempt to solve and end up causing more problems.
Expanding access to education for Ghanaians.
Please, before you expand, okay, there are things you will do. You put up infrastructure. You make sure you don't compromise on the quality as you are thinking about accessibility and affordability. Quality. Where were the buildings they put up? Now kids, in fact, my own daughter went to school just this Monday, okay? She came home from vacation. She's been home for 3 months until 2 days ago. Assuming I didn't have the means to get my daughter a teacher to be... By the time she gets back, everything she studied would have gone.
After 3 months of being at home.
You know. So this is what they do. And then we come back and we make it better. And that is exactly what we are doing now. Back to this. Of course, about 2.3 million samples were taken. Out of the over 40,000, I think, same registrations, just 2.3 million were taken. These are the findings. Incorrect, identity information have been established out of this. Unconfirmed biometric information have been established. Data inconsistencies have been established. As for facial recognition, out of about the 2.3 million, a whooping 455,000 of them, 450, representing 19%, couldn't be validated. You understand? Look, let me add that. If your research margin of error is not below 10%, you haven't done any good job. Your error is about 19%. Very terrible. So look, my brother Honorable Sam George was not, being egoistic. He is being factual. Everything he spoke about are facts. This has nothing to do with ego.
Does it warrant a new exercise?
No.
Or just as we've been able to establish these discrepancies, we're able to identify bearers of this
let me tell you why.
And do some proper
Let me tell you why it requires that. Let me tell you why. Let's just even put off the facial recognition, which about 455,000 out of the 2 million, couldn't match. Fingerprints. All those who were, the 2.3 million.
Zero match.
None of their fingerprints matched. That is to say that if we should target the entire 40 million people, none of them probably is going to match. So what stops us from doing this whole thing? Because it's a clear mess.
Yeah.
When zero of the 2.3 million, zero. So what work did you do? You see, we keep telling the MPP, do not rush for political expediency. Your context is not to prove to the NDC that you are better than us. Your context is to prove to Ghanaians that they are worth, in fact, you are worth their vote. And that is what you should be looking at. Doing things that will meet the real needs of the people, not just rush into political expediencies and end up causing this mess for somebody else, to come and repair. And that is what is in their nature. Yes, we are here. We are not just lamenting. We are telling you that this is the problem you have created. This is it. And we are coming in to make it better. It is not wrong to tell Ghanaians what you handed over to us. We are not sleeping on it. Like the MPP will lament for 8 years, blame COVID for 8 years, blame Russia-Ukraine war for how long. We are telling you, this is what you did. but we are going to fix it.
Now
It is in our nature.
US, Israel, Iran.
Yes, we are not complaining. Have you heard the government, lamenting that because of this, how do you call it, Russia war with the, how do you call it?
Not
so
Russia,
Ukraine.
Sorry,
US-Israel war
Iran.
with the Iran war. We are not going to be able to do anything.
We've had
we are
BOG
focused.
governor sound alarm bells on a possible impact on inflation.
Let me tell you what. The foresight the New Patriotic Party's government didn't have. For which reason they faced COVID and so on, and they were crying. I won't say it's just unfortunate that this happened. But before then, a few weeks ago, the Deputy Minister for Finance, on behalf of the Finance Minister, walked into Parliament with a policy document that they wanted us to approve, which I call the GANRAP.
Okay.
The Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy.
Yeah.
What is this policy meant to do? The policy is meant for us to back up our import cover to 15 months import cover by 2028. What is the reason? It is to make sure that Ghana has a strong buffer enough to be able to,
To survive the shocks.
to face some of these shocks. So we are thinking way ahead.
Very well.
That Ghana needs all these things because in our previous era, we instituted a lot of backups from the sinking fund to whatever. They depleted all of it in the name of COVID. But when we come to power, as the NDC, we ensure that we put measures in place for Ghana's economy to be on very good footing. And so we have done this GANRAP, just so that we will build more import cover to shock absorb Ghana from all these international. Of course, it may have impact, certainly, because oil is involved, international trade are involved in all of that. Yes, but what will you do as a country to mitigate that or to minimize the effects? And this is where a government with foresight, plays better, like that of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Very well. Alaji, during your exercise, we were threatened, actually, and we were threatened to go and queue, affecting productivity because we were spending hours in queues to register our SIM cards. Yeah. The minister says that based or armed with such information, this is going to be a very flexible exercise. In fact, in the comfort of your home, having a smartphone, you are able to go through the process. Is this not a step in the right direction?
I have served you tea.
Did you add biscuits?
With biscuits. You enjoyed your tea with biscuits. Somebody is saying somewhere saying, I shall serve you tea. Let's wait and see. That answers your question first. But let me deal with the three major issues Honorable brought up.
Very well.
First, on health insurance. Of the 19 years of misrule that they subjected this country to.
That's how you describe it?
Jerry Rawlings' NDC was completely a waste of Ghana's time.
Really?
Completely.
19 years of democracy.
I'm telling you, we saw other countries like Singapore, like Malaysia, who had this autocratic rule under the stewardship of people who wanted to develop the country. We saw where they ended and where they are today. Jerry Rawlings had all the opportunity, with his PNDC and NDC to get us to where we wanted to be. But not in my west, in the west of the Venerable Ahoy. He says he was spending his time playing with toy planes in cabinet. I didn't say it. Have you read the Rawlings Ahoy's book? Read it. He says the man was wasting his time and wasting everybody's time playing with toy planes at cabinet, where policy edition was automatically. The 19 years of misrule, they never thought of, going beyond the so-called piloting that they did with a Catholic whatever. It took us in 2000 to campaign on abolishing cash and carry when we come. And true to our West, by 2003, we had instituted that and said that it ought to go through district by district. Then we see how it will metamorphose into becoming a national scheme. Because you do not just get up and walk or run. You first sit, crawl, and then rise up to walk. That is policy. And in fact, what did they do in 2003 concerning health insurance? He has brought himself. They told us that we didn't deserve it as a country. They walked out of parliament. If you so much needed it and thought it was your baby, that you think that you have nurtured, you would not have walked out of parliament and tell Ghanaians we don't deserve health insurance. And that's on record. Today, you want to come and sit here and play holier than thou, that we come and spoil, and then you come to ameliorate. This is interesting.
But how can we say you don't deserve something
SSS,
that we
I was very quiet.
piloted?
Honorable, I was very quiet when listening to you. I mean, you can just take it.
Let's have him land and then you
now,
can come
free SHS. Again, when we mooted the idea and said that we need to give the young person in this country who completes JHS and the parents have no means to see the person to a higher school, at least secondary school, let government absorb that. What the best they could do was to be singing around saying free SHS was 419, and that we couldn't do it. Today he come to sit here and want to say that they come to better free SHS. Really? The president of the Republic of Ghana today, John Dramani Mahama, is on record to have stood somewhere in Cape Coast to say that if he has over 2 billion Ghana cedi, he won't use it for free SHS or for secondary school alone. Only for them to come today and then increase the budget from what to 3 point something billion. You see the hypocrisy of the NDC? These are the kind of people we are dealing with. And the third issue, what did he say? We have actually done nothing when it comes to SIM registration because for the sampling they have done, the over 2 million that they did, and they had some discrepancies. What did I say earlier on? I said, look, every exercise that you undertake, obviously, you have some margin of errors.
True.
Obviously.
19%.
Every exercise. And
you
now
are research.
No, with all respect,
19%. Come on.
Now, you can't
give Ghanaians what they
You are
deserve.
dealing with human beings who are supposed to give information.
Honorable, please hold on.
You are dealing with human beings who are supposed to give information. You just said that the reason why we're going to do this re-registration is as a result of curbing fraud. Curbing fraud. Okay? And these are myriads of people we are dealing with. What mindset have all of us got individually, do we know? So can you eradicate fraud completely with the kind of system that we have? It will actually be a mirage.
But it can be reduced to its
It
barest
can be.
minimum.
Thank you.
It can be.
Thank you, my brother.
Now, if you have done over 40 million and you claim for your own review, in fact, I like the words he chose. He has been magnanimous this morning. He said it is a policy review.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of language I should have heard from my communication minister. Honorable has shown that he's an honorable person this morning. He says, this is a policy. It has been done.
Don't try
it's
to patronize him.
It's a policy.
I side with some George.
Review.
I side with some George.
Some
Don't
George
patronize
comes
me.
to tell you it's a complete registration because there was no registration at all.
Yes.
But he said, you see,
For
even
0%.
on the same table, they are at variance.
For 0%
Even on their
match.
same table, even on their own table, that tells you how the confusion is bizarre within them.
There is no
The
confusion.
minister tells you that it is a complete now new registration. What we did was what? Bogus.
Please.
The man comes to
said-
tell
I think
you
this will be a final.
He's taking me out of context.
No.
Please, let me address this. He's taking me
I'm
out
not
of
taking you
context.
out of
What
context.
I said was
I'm
that
listening to
it
you.
was as a result of a policy review, which gave rise to what the findings. I'm not saying we are going to do
Listen.
a policy review. No. I'm saying that
The review
it
has
is
been done.
it is the review
And
that
based on
gave
the
rise
findings-
to the findings.
These are semantics.
So myself and
No
Sam
matter how
George
you put it, it's still
are at
on
the
the
same
same
part.
table.
Yes,
Very
Ghana,
well.
are
I'm
the
saying
same
that
part.
no matter how
I
you
side
put
with
it,
my brother.
it's still the same. It means there was a policy. It means
0%
this policy was
match.
implemented.
0%
This policy now,
match.
according to you, you reviewing it and then seeing some errors and you have to do another re-registration. That's the point. It's still the same point I'm making. It's still the same point. There's no difference. Whether you said there was a policy and you are now reviewing or whatever, you have said there has been a policy, which policy was good to all of us and which was implemented. And I'm saying, look, I don't run away from some of these things. I said, look, if Osla Osu led Minister of Communication have actually done any wrong as a result of SIM registration, let us read it. Let us see whoever has done that wrong, haul before the law to face the law. But you do not come wanting to raise a budget for yourself and then you speak on your egos, go and sit down, look for money, create loot and share, and in the name of re-registrate people. When out of the 40-something million, you claim that the 2 million that you have done, or 2-point-something million that you have done, is where you have seen errors. Come and tell us that the entire thing was bogus. Tell us that. then of course we all subject that to scrutiny and establish whether or not indeed it was all bogus. I keep telling you, if they claim that they are saints, they are rather not saints. Look, the best development in this country in terms of proper policy is only the MPP that has brought it.
Really?
Health insurance is 1. Capitation grants is 2. Public transport system, 0 in their men. We brought it. Okay? The 4 buses that you know today. We sit here today. And of course, free SHS is the MPP that has brought it. Okay? Ghana card that today we are using and priding ourselves with to use it for data. It is the MPP again that tried it. So every single thing, whether brick and mortar to as well, I can mention brick and mortar. Opening Accra, he's from Accra. Tete Kwashi roundabout to Adenta to Ebri, MPP. Malam Yamoransa running down, MPP.
Governance is a continuum.
I am telling you, what is it? Circle. Just take circle to here. Those days, to take circle to Testono to what's the name? Akofako barrier.
Yeah.
Could take you 4 hours. It took MPP to think out of the box to turn this country around.
You mean you
only
developed
for this,
the roads
I am
circle,
telling you,
Kwame
19
Nkrumah
years
circle?
of misrule, 19 years of doing nothing to this country. They come to sit here and they claim that they are the best. Really, Ghanaians are watching us. These are not they are never an alternative.
Honorable.
Thank you. My brother, quickly, 19 years of rule, we built more schools than they have ever done. We built more schools than they have ever done. We built more hospitals in the 19 years than they have ever dreamt of. We built more roads than they have ever done. We expanded water and electricity more than they have ever done in our 19 years. We built airports, airstrips. We expanded the country and created access to networks all over the country. We have done all of these things. They only come to benefit from the base that we have set.
Foundation that you have laid.
They come to benefit from that. Now, I want my brother to understand that free SHS is a good policy. The SIM card registration is a good policy. But a good policy can be implemented poorly. The fact that the policy is good does not mean your implementation is good. It is your poor implementation that led us where we are. And I don't see why he keeps saying that my brother Honorable Sam George is playing on his ego. We are talking about facts. So let's speak to facts. These are the facts, my brother. The fingerprint is the easiest way to verify oneself wherever you go. Because having a fingerprint gadget is easier than having to get this facial recognition and all. The fingerprint is the simplest, right? So if the simplest means to verify yourself turned out to be 0, is it not a failed
0
policy?
match out of a sample of 2
0 match over 2.3 million. 0 match fingerprints. Is it not a failure?
Indeed.
You should admit your failure and know that what you have done is a 0. So if Sam George says that we are going to do a proper registration, I side with him. Because if all the people you killed to line up in the sun to go and you verify their thumbprints and fingerprints and all their fingerprints, and today, not even one fingerprint will match. My brother, what have you done? This is so terrible, and I'm ashamed. I will be very much ashamed if I were on the side of the MPP. Really? I'm amazed he has the guts to be defending this and be telling Sam George that he's being egoistic. You are defending a 0 over 100 performance. You are defending a 19% margin of error. Who does that? Which serious analytical person does this? It doesn't wash anywhere. Tell us that, oh, our intentions were good. But we all admit that we've made terrible mistakes. If you say you're going to fix it, fix it. But not with this posture. Not with this posture. When no single person out of 2.3 million can verify their thumbprints. You are calling this a success? My brother, please, I think you need to rethink this. Now, we have come to notice all of these things. We are not resting. We are saying that we need to link the SIM cards to our IDs so that we can properly verify people. Yes, for security reasons. But we also need to improve data accuracy because there's no accuracy in all of this.
True.
Security and credibility matters. And that is why we need to do this. So we are going to properly align your SIM registration with your national cards so that wherever you go, you can be identified as such, which they couldn't do. It is a mistake they made. The intention was good, but the execution was poor.
So should someone be held accountable for it?
Well, I will not be quick to say we must find out for every judgment of criminality, there must be there must be incidents of intent and opportunity. So we need to find out what exactly led us here. If it was deliberate, there was no good faith to tell Ghanaians what it said they were going to do, then of course someone should answer.
But deliberate or otherwise, money has been lost.
Yes.
Absolutely.
An exercise has failed.
Oh yes.
Based on the findings you are sharing with us.
Of course. So
And
that's what I'm saying.
That money.
If you could say it is pure error, it's a different thing. But if it is out of negligence, certainly someone needs to answer. We are saying that we are going to plan this thing well, so that after the alignment, we will strengthen the verification processes. Wherever you find yourself with your ID, once you tap your thumbprint or your index or whichever, your identity should be able to pop up. It gives the system some form of credibility. At this point, it is not credible, obviously. What we are going to do is to ensure that every subscriber has credibility when it comes to their biodata. So that wherever you go and you say, I am Osimasi, the system should be able to prove that indeed you are the Osimasi. And that is the only reason why we spent money to do all these things. The system should be able to identify you. So if after spending all this money, the system cannot identify your common thumbprint, the system can't identify, then what have you spent the people's time, money, energy, and all of what have you spent it to do? My brother, you should apologize to Ghanaians, to be honest.
Honorable apologize to simplify the whole matter.
Right.
You and I sit here, and if randomly the three of us are supposed to be subjected to some scrutiny in terms of testing whether or not we have registered ourselves, chances of we going through is a higher percentage. Very, very high percentage.
True.
That's why I still maintain that you may have some errors. However, the communication out there and to sanitize it could have been actually put in better. But you see, I was actually on the trajectory of my submission when he came in again. He made a point that they don't give excuses.
Yeah.
At all. They don't give excuses. They go at it and work. I grant them that. But you see, rhetoric is good. But when you are faced with reality, and action is supposed to be put to bear, laid to bear, you will be exposed.
Okay.
The MPA CEO, my good friend Eduji Tamakulu, is on record to have said that given the escalation of the war in the Middle East, and given the spikes in the crude oil prices, they will have to sit down and review the prices again. And the prices are soaring. When we had global issues, extraneous issues, external forces or factors pushing prices globally, no country was left. You people told us that, in fact, in the words of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, now Ukraine, any Russia, how does it affect Ghana? I want to ask Edu Jitamakulu, and honorable by extension, who say they don't give excuses. Say Israel, Iran, what?
I will answer that.
Where from Ghana? How does it affect Ghana?
I will answer that.
The same people, they say they don't give excuses.
I will answer
so
that.
you see, Ghanaians are watching us and listening to us. It's about time we become factual and truthful to Ghanaians. This politics of coming to scam people, coming to say things and they come and do otherwise, we will not and we shall not countenance it. I am putting it to honorable here that they have started giving the excuses. I am putting it to you, the Bank of Ghana. You drew his attention to the governor of Bank of Ghana. Look, that man has been very inconsistent.
Really?
Oh, why? He was against the gold reserve program. He said it was not sustainable and that no economy should go for it. He's on record to have said it. What did
you achieve with the gold reserve?
I am saying today, honorable sits here and saying that the gold reserve program is to show up and boost our what?
Import cover.
And give us a good import cover. Again, I want to find out who is deceiving who here.
Okay.
Who?
Okay.
So you say, honorable, when you come to sit here,
you will understand that the two scenarios are not the same.
Well, will disappoint you with some of the points you make because we can cite series of a plethora of comments they have made that points to the fact that they have said this and they are doing otherwise. Okay?
It's always the case. It's always what politicians say that comes back to
and that
bite
is
them.
why we need to sanitize our politics. If you know me very well, I have always said, if MPP is wrong on a matter, me, Kamal, I come out and say this matter is wrong.
So MPP is right. MPP is right on the same registration.
Of course, if you,
right.
I'm not saying that
0%.
I'm not saying they are
0%
right.
performance.
I have told you that
he's
if there's
admitted
an
that
exercise,
if they are
they have
challenging,
He has not
has to be
admitted.
addressed.
He has not admitted.
Admitting, he has said that.
So
Admitting
don't sit
is
here and then come and
admitting
play
is
with it
saying
like
that. Oh,
and the next moment
we
you
know we
the
didn't
right
do
thing.
well. We
You
know we
understand?
didn't do well. NDC, we admit. Resolve the problem. That is admittance.
What
But
do
when
I
you
do
come
well?
here and you say, if you see any
Look,
error,
it is
fix
your
it,
word.
you have not
Honorable,
admitted.
it is your word. It is about you and your word. Have you invited anyone on the table to ask? He asked you a profound question. Has
You
not
and
been
I
answered
are
yes.
on the table.
You have not.
You and I
then,
are at the
no,
table.
I am talking about
Admit
technical-
it before
I am
Ghanaians.
talking about
People
technical
admit
people.
this
the
before
previous
Ghanaians.
exercise.
What did we
have
do?
they been
Have you
engaged
sat down to do audit
to
with
establish
them? Have you
indeed
done
where
that?
the errors
No,
happen?
these are your words.
Please,
So whether
please,
you are right or you are
please,
not right, you
please.
only come and throw out something there to
Very well.
create loot and share,
Very well, Alaji,
and then
thank
create a budget and then run into town
This
with
is
it.
a
That's
research.
what they want to do.
Alaji, thank
This
you.
is a research we held. Quickly.
Yeah.
This is a research we held, and we have given you the findings. Yes, we will not complain and let it be. We'll let you know what the facts are. We are going to be very honest with Ghanaians. And sooner than later, we are going to find out who the real scammers of Ghana are. You know, NPP, you've scammed Ghanaians in so many ways. We are coming to other matters, and you see how well they've been able to employ what they call chickenery to deceive Ghanaians.
Right.
How they have employed chickenery
Chickenry.
to deceive Ghanaians. We'll get to that. We are saying that this is what we have seen.
Right.
We are going to fix it. You cannot rejoice. You cannot celebrate over 0% performance because there is nothing with the easiest means to verify, which is the thumbprint or fingerprint. The easiest means.
And that one was zero. All the
Out of the 2.3 million, none, not a single person.
your
And
words.
that should be
I'm
very
asking-
worrying.
I'm asking if it
That
warrants
should be
an
very worrying for
entire
Ghanaians.
new exercise,
Absolutely. Does it
or
warrant
the
an entire new
2.3 can be identified
Absolutely.
and rectified.
That was my point.
When you are doing research,
That's
okay,
my point.
when you are doing research, you identify a target audience, you pick your population. Now, out of the 40 million, you have identified only 2.3 million. Let's assume that we are going to still scale them down and resolve out of the 40 million. What happens to the 38 million? How many more will be there?
But is the 2.3 reflective of
The
the
sample
40?
is reflective.
Look,
You understand? It is
I can
reflective.
bet my last
And
minute,
we didn't say
that
Oh,
if the
Alaji, hold on.
entire
Alaji, hold on.
process was
In all-
bogus,
in all
as in 6
honesty.
to see, they would have revealed it.
In all
I can bet
honesty,
my last
Very
minute.
well, very well.
In all
Allow
honesty,
Honorable to
40 million
finish.
people.
In all
was
honesty.
faulty. These people, with
Alaji,
their propaganda, they would have revealed it.
Thank you.
I am telling you.
Thank you.
that is what we are revealing now. We have seen it
What
now.
are you
So we are
2
revealing
million.
it.
You are revealing 2 million out of
But that's the
40 million.
sample size.
But I mean, who does the research?
Exactly, with the
and
entire
capture the entire
finite-
population? It
This has nothing
doesn't
to do with
work.
research.
It doesn't work
This has
that
nothing to do with
way.
research. You
But
spoke
what
about
is it?
review. Look, government money has been spent. Let's get serious. Government money has been spent on a project. Which project spent so much? And then the project claimed 40 million people have actually been registered. This is supposed to be scientific. That Mr. A has
Exactly.
been registered, B has been registered, C has been registered. They all have same. Then you come to sit down and you want to conduct an audit. You don't tell me you want to do a research.
But
and
this
go
is a
and fetch
research.
sample size.
But please,
You
if you
don't
want
tell
to
me that.
review,
See, we need to look at
You need
things
to want to
holistically.
If you want to
And
review a
overhaul
policy,
it.
if
Yeah.
you want to review a policy,
Oh, no.
okay, it is a research work. Unless you are telling me you don't know. To review a policy, you employ research methods. You identify a population, either randomly or either targeted, whatever. You understand? Once you identify them, you try to fix what you intend to. So like you say, we made sure that we employed their thumbprints, their fingerprints, for all these 23 million.
Look.
For facial, how do you call it?
Facial recognition.
Recognitions, were honest enough to say that it is
I say-
455,000,
You overlap some
which is the
dots in the
19% that
He will
the system
disappoint you. You
couldn't
don't know.
identify
You have
their
no
faces.
idea what some dots
For thumbprints, out of the
I'm telling you, I have
2.3
no idea.
billion,
Zero
not
match.
a single one of them
Right.
was able to match their SIM
me-
cards with their national IDs.
Me, I
And this
saw
is
what happened
empirical.
to DSTV
Wait.
with some of those comments.
This is empirical.
Alaji, please.
This has nothing to do with
I
St.
don't
John's.
take.
This has everything to do with
Alaji,
them.
Alaji.
It
saw what
has
happened.
everything to
Alaji,
do with
let's have a gentleman's
It
conversation.
has everything to do with
Hold
the
on,
institution.
hold
It has
on,
nothing to do with
Alaji.
St. John's.
person can
Hold on,
I don't
Alaji.
wait.
It's not about the individual.
This is not
It's
the
not
job.
about the individual. It's a
This is not
policy.
personal.
It's a policy that's being
Don't be
reviewed.
personal about this.
So
It's an institution. The national communication.
Let's not make it
It is
about
the
some
NCA.
It's not
judge.
personal. But I say I saw.
So then let's not make it
Please.
about some judge. Let's
The
deal with the
NCA
exercise
is
or the
the
policy
minister.
itself.
The
He's the
NCA
minister.
is
Very
not
well,
my minister.
very well, very well.
He's
Alaji,
my
thank you.
minister,
Thank
and
you.
I'm supposed to-
NCA.
Alaji, thank you.
He's supposed
Thank
to
you.
account to me.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know.
Thank
I don't
you.
know.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if he has
Thank
a
you, Alaji.
personal issue with some
I
judge.
don't have. No,
Because you are being
not
too
at all.
personal.
He's
We
a
are
very
speaking
good friend.
facts.
If you
We are
get to know.
speaking facts.
Fine,
But you are being personal.
No.
Forget about some
I am
judge.
saying
Alaji,
Let's
you
talk
mislead
about
me.
NCA.
Let's deal with the facts of the
It
matter
is the NCA.
and the issues that have been
It's
raised,
the
and let's
NCA.
tackle the
Okay.
policy
Tell
and the direction and
Tell
the
Ghanaians
implementation.
that the NCA
Very well.
is incompetent. You can tell that to Ghanaians that the NCA don't target some judge. This is empirical facts out of a study that have been conducted.
Hasn't the man come
This
to
is
tell
an
you that
empirical
Alaji,
fact
who has subscribed to
that have been
Alaji,
studied.
he's going
Thank
to
you,
do
thank you,
everything.
thank you, thank you.
Please.
Honorable, thank
When
you. Alaji,
Sir
thank
says
you.
I'm going to do A,
Has
it
he
is
done
different from when an institution like the NCA says we've done our research. This is what we have uncovered, and we are telling you that the things you claim
right,
you
I
did.
hear.
I mean,
These are the
other
findings.
issues with
You
the
shouldn't be
registration that we
arguing.
need to
That's fine.
You shouldn't be arguing. When zero out of 2 million, 0 out
Very
of
well.
2 million
Very
cannot be
well.
matched.
You see,
okay.
there are
And you are
issues we're
happy.
overlooking
No,
regarding
I've
this.
not said that. No,
And you
issue.
are
No, I'm coming. I'm trying to build a point here. There are issues that we're overlooking.
Ghanaians should thank
How
God His
many
Excellency
SIM
John
cards
Mahama
will
took
an
over.
individual be entitled to
Ghanaians
register
should be
in
very
this
happy.
particular
His Excellency
exercise?
John Mahama took over.
What
If you can
happens
rejoice
to
over this failure.
replacing a lost SIM card?
Yeah,
you see, we've not had
these are
any
germane issues.
education
They are germane issues,
on
actually.
this.
Actually, they are germane
How
issues.
much of an awareness
I agree with
creation,
you.
sensitization has been done prior to the rollout
nothing to
of
do with
this?
politics. These are
It has
very
nothing to
germane
do
issues,
exactly. And so these are some of the issues that we need to be looking at. But let me take a few quick messages regarding it, and then we can move into the matters of labor. This one says, okay, this person is making a request to us. It says, please, Nana, we, your viewers, need a phone-in session to be able to make our submission short and impactful. Very well, we'll think about it and see. Clearly, the gentleman has a lot to say. Yeah. It says, this one says, good morning. Please tell the NDC man that if we should take off what MPP has done for the nation, then Ghana will look like Afram Plains.
That's not true. You'll have very much trouble routes to travel from Accra to the north.
The man is
You'll
right.
have you'll have airports to fly.
This one is also asking you, it says, what's the NDC MP saying? That the NPP does not have foresight?
Oh, yes.
They that have foresight
Oh,
have
yes.
given cocoa farmers a haircut.
No, you see
This is Yawusu from
the new
Kofodia
kid
and
on the
Eastern
block.
region.
That is their new kid. on the block. Yes, they are new kid on the block.
And they've jumped on it.
It's the MPP.
They are actually in the
MPP 's
Ashanti
new-
region engaging cocoa farmers.
Oh, I know. The cocoa
Right.
farmers have realized. You see, you shouldn't engage them.
You
They
want to
should
respond
feel
to
it.
Texas too.
Who feels it? No.
Honorable.
I'm
Respond to
talking
Texas.
to what he said.
Right.
I'm referring to what he said. Who feels it knows
Knows
it, well,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Very well. If the cocoa farmers are shortchanged, what are you doing in the farms trying to, how do you call, conscientize them? They should feel it. They should know.
I don't think they are
You are
conscientizing
telling them
They are
that you've been
giving voice
shortchanged.
to the
Don't you
voiceless.
think they know? If
They are
have
giving
been
voice to
shortchanged,
the voiceless. I
But
don't
I think
think it's a
you should
conscientizing.
really-
I think the
exercise.
cocoa
Very well.
farm,
But let's
the
run to the
cocoa
messages
issue
and then we
should be
can
a topic on its
into
own.
different
Then I'll be
matters.
willing to sit here
Very well.
to talk about cocoa and cocoa
Again,
farmers.
you'll be
Well,
disappointed just as
oh,
you're
no,
disappointed
not
with the
This
others.
one says the SIM cards have already been linked. They just want to create, loot, and share. They haven't done anything special or different. What they are just doing is regrading and renaming. Okay. Mwini Sumaila from WA says the SIM registration is misplaced priority. Ask the NDC communicators what the communication minister has done about the DSTV issue. We want to hear from him again on that. Okay. Good morning, Nana. What is happening again? SIM re-registration without sensitization is like wasting our time again. This is Ahmed from Nima. The center cannot hold under this government. For that matter, so many things are falling apart. You said CD appreciated, inflation has declined, but the hardship we are facing is unbearable. Swala in La Paz. Okay. Good morning. If the data indicates no match or zero, how come the banks and the network providers are able to verify us anytime we go there? Please, they shouldn't come and waste our time.
I will explain that.
Okay.
I will explain that.
This one says, good morning, Nana. Ask the NCA what happens if you go to replace a lost SIM card Biometric information is required. Go to the bank and see. This is an unnecessary verification. Good morning, ChannelOne.
The gentleman has exposed you.
SIM registration is not inherently a bad policy, especially if reviews reveal gaps that need addressing. However, the politicization of the process by the Honorable Minister raises legitimate concerns about its intent and implementation. Techi Samson from Brekum sent that one in. NDC is now repeating same mistakes that made Ghanaians vote against MPP. But if election is held today, I believe many people like me regret voting for NDC out of pains induced in the previous government.
In fact, their own food soldiers are saying it. Their own food soldiers are not happy.
There's a final one here. Francis from Ho in the Volta region says, my contribution on the registration is that the unverified people are probably those who the telco registration officers willingly and fraudulently added to the
No, it could be an angle.
Look, are you
maybe the
supporting
he's
this?
choosing. Maybe
Are you supporting this?
Yes, but he says fraudulently. No, he goes to explain.
Honorable,
He explains. He says when a code was sent to us to check whether some numbers were attached to my name, I discovered that 3 people were attached to my SIM. Absolutely. He mentions a network and a different person attached to a second network.
Expose the system.
Such people cannot be verified.
What you instituted wasn't accurate.
So he says what the NDC is saying should be laid at the doorstep of the telcos and not the government. Yeah, so he says that when a code was sent to him to verify, he discovered that 3 names were attached to one SIM belonging to a different telco and another name attached to his SIM belonging to a different telco. I just don't want to mention
it was a particular ministry.
Of the telcos.
It was a particular ministry. We decided they were going to embark on that agenda, isn't it? So if the ministry did all of this, and the ministry after a while, they didn't review what they had done to identify all these things and left it like that.
You think they should
have done? They have done well?
Why?
Now, let me talk about the bank verifications. Look, this even exposes your technology.
Tell us.
That you employed.
How so?
Tell us.
What the bank is using is working perfectly.
Okay.
What did you use? Which, how do you call it, machinery? Which equipment did you, now, when you go to the bank, they take your ID card, right? They scan and screen your ID cards into their system. When you go there and you put your thumb on it or your index finger on it, it's able to identify. So what machine did you use?
And you see
what
why,
equipment
did you use
that
I was
didn't
asking
work?
that if there's somebody should be held accountable for this?
No.
Because if there's an existing system that works, why did we go use a different system that today we are saying has failed us?
The same point we're talking about. We're saying that
let us be honest.
Exercise,
let us be honest. It wasn't the telcos. It wasn't the telcos that embarked on this.
No, I'm not.
It is a policy of your then ministry. It was a policy. That's why you see, I'm being careful. I'm not talking about Lausu. Because I'm not personalizing this argument. It is a ministry. You are. You are talking about some judge and some judge and some judge.
Because of his comments.
Wait,
gentlemen.
I am not actually talking about.
Very well, gentlemen. Hold on for me. Kindly hold on. Let me take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll wrap up this conversation on the SIM registration exercise, and then we'll move to some labor conversations. This is Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne Television. We're having the news review segment. The Honorable Alfred Nikote Ashi, Member of Parliament for Ododo, is here. Alhaji Kamaldeen Abdullahi, Deputy National Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party, is also here. We've been discussing the matter of the SIM card registration exercise. I'll take a final message on this, and then we can move on to a meeting that happened yesterday between the presidency and Labour, organized Labour, as well as TUC. This message says, this SIM registration exercise is still not foolproof against scammers. If a relative of mine dies and I sell or give out his already registered SIM to a scammer, he or she can do whatever. What we need is for birth and death to be also involved, so when someone dies, all services linked to the person via Ghana card goes off. If that's not done, we will have to re-verify every now and then to confirm the original person is still using it. This has been my position all along. We have SNIDs, we have Ghana card, we have... It should all be linked.
The person dies and the SIM is given to somebody and they use it for all kind of things.
Anyways, this one says, good morning, Anna. NDC is repeating the same mistake NPP committed. Yes, there may be loopholes, but I think they should rather fix the loophole and not waste our time again. NDC go back to the drawing board again and stop the exercise. President Mahama is Oh, okay. He says President Mahama is always wearing an African attire and you are wearing suits.
Yeah. I mean, I wear. Yesterday I wore an African attire.
Because today is a
tomorrow.
He's trying to say he's not in the smoke wear.
Yeah,
you know, President Mahama decreed.
Fugu Wednesdays.
Yeah, he said that we should wear. So at least MP should have done
it. I'm wearing Fugu to Parliament today.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's hanging in the car.
It's fine. Good morning, Anna. My dad bought and registered my SIM in 2004 thereabout when I was a primary student. During the re-registration period, we did a change of ownership and my name was put on it. After a year, I noticed my dad's name was back on my SIM. When I went to their office, they said my name is not in the system. But I have screenshots of transactions with my name showing on my SIM, yet I'm being told my name has never been in the system. I want to know exactly what happened. Now I am scared to use Momo because I think someone is monitoring my account. So you see, these are some of the genuine, legitimate concerns.
Obviously, probably the technology we employed is what we should look at and review, because it's not. It looks like the banks have a superior, deployment of technology that works perfectly for the banks. You understand? Yeah. So maybe what we used is what caused all of this, but then we need to upgrade and use a better system. And I believe that is what my brother Sam George is espousing.
Very well, very well. Anyways, President Mahama met with organized labor at the Jubilee House yesterday. This is on the back of a recent strike by CLOGSAG, that's the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana. And the president said he made some very salient points during that meeting. An independent emoluments commission to develop a national emoluments policy. This will be looking at disparities in salaries, which I think is a good point. Another thing he said, his reset agenda is committed to fairness and sustainable growth. He's asked Labour to help in the restructuring of ECG, among a number of things. For me, in the spirit of transparency and accountability, it makes a lot of sense that the first gentleman engages the various unions. Recall that recently he engaged the business community as well. Now he's engaging the various labor unions. Alhaji, let me start from you. Minus what was said, your thoughts on the meeting itself before we go into the intricacies of the issues that were raised.
Again, I think that the Ghanaian worker has been shortchanged. The Ghanaian worker has been deceived and told to tighten his belt or her belt. But some people have loosened it to make space for pot bellies. It's very interesting. Yes. Why do I say this? This is not the first time the president is meeting Labour.
Yeah.
I recall when Labour in 2025 decided to call for better conditions of service.
Right.
And asked for some percentage to be of increment. The president himself had to go and sit with the Labour minister then. I don't know whether he was by then even sworn in as well. He was sworn in, right? Honorable Rashid Pelpu. Yeah. The president joined in that meeting. In fact, he even took them by surprise. And the PR was that, wow, this is a humble president, a listening president. All the beautiful adjectives were actually attached to John Dramani Mohammed's names. Then he came to plead that year they had just come and that they were putting things right.
Which year was that?
That was 2025.
Okay.
He met. They had just come, and that for that matter, their demands, he cannot assure them of it. And that at least government needs some respite and made an appeal for some percentage to be accepted by them. Labour being so magnanimous.
What's the percentage?
It was 9% or so.
Very well.
10%.
Very well.
Labour being so magnanimous, listened to the president and trusted in the president. However, the hope given them was that the ensuing years will see amelioration of this figure.
Yeah.
And the reason why I believe the Labour we have in this country listened. Today, fast forward to the meeting that we've had. The proposal is that there's going to be an emolument commission.
Less than 1 year down the line.
Okay? That's the proposal.
Yeah.
To look at how emoluments ought to be done. And my question to that is that, what's the work of the Fair Wages Commission?
That's Fair Wages and Salaries
Commission. Yes, that's just my question to that. What's the work of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission?
So you think it's a duplication of functions?
To a larger extent, we have structures in place already. The concerns of the labor is that our conditions of services are not actually right. That's the concerns. The second issue the president mentioned without addressing the condition of service was that government is unable to give them anything for now and didn't give them timelines. That even next year they are unable. You have only 4 years. You promised reset. You promised better Ghana for them. You are about consuming 2 years. You are telling them that even next year they have no hope. This is a serious matter. You see, when we sit in this country and want to diagnose the processes that NDC put us through, trust me, Ghanaians will never vote for them again. It's so serious. You see,
you know that Ghanaians have forgotten.
Do you know that
compensations consume the largest
I have
chunk
not
of government expenditure.
On my way here, I listened to a report by the certain finance minister that we are in a country where we even have to borrow to pay salaries.
True.
And that as we sit, we are borrowing money to pay salaries. In fact, I became sad. Because that has always been the norm. And you promised reset. I will change that norm. What has happened to your reset? And you come and now throw lamentations again that we have to borrow to pay salaries and things are difficult. Didn't you know that when you were promising heavens? NDC, I'm asking you.
Public sector wages alone is taking 39% of the country's budget.
Didn't they know it? So who were they deceiving? When you were telling them the Ghanaian worker was not better off. The Ghanaian worker was shortchanged. The Ghanaian worker, Akufo-Addo increased salary to a tune of close to 20-something%. But yet you said he didn't do well.
Cumulatively over the years.
Before Don Mahama left government in 2016, we listened to him when he stood in Botswana. The way he said, you know, the almighty, whether famous or infamous, dead goods syndrome came as a result of labor agitations. You know that? Yeah. When he went and so I don't know whether it's actually famous or infamous. You understand? The almighty, I'm a dead goat, and I assume the syndrome of a dead goat was as a result of labor agitation for proper conditions of service. And I thought they would have learned by now. And based on that, you promised them all one of the phantom promises.
But if learned, that's why now they are negotiating. They are in talks with labor.
So you could have told the people when you were coming that when we come in, we don't know what is there. We will ensure that you are better off. We do this, and then we're going to be to give them the offline level. But you gave them hopes. You told them the person who gave them over something 20-something%, running to 30%, has done nothing. The teacher was not better off. My sister is a teacher. Okay? And she knows, I know her peril, what she was getting then under Akufo-Addo. Before even Akufo-Addo. And when Akufo-Addo came, what they got. Teachers are actually here. If they can call in and tell you how better they were and their place after Akufo-Addo came.
Really?
You said we did nothing. I'm telling you.
Teachers were better off under Akufo-Addo.
I am saying that they saw serious increments in allowances. Yes, I'm speaking to facts.
Give us
they
the facts.
saw increments.
How were they better?
I can give you figures if you give me time.
Please do.
You understand? I'm saying that teachers saw better increment from what they were receiving in 2016.
In what way?
Completely. Then yet you people said that we have done nothing. That's what I'm saying, teachers, not only teachers. Other sectors, Clockside and the rest, they saw at least some facelift. Now today, when you promise somebody heavens, I will reset and give you better tests and whatever. The next moment you come and tell the person that when we look at it, we don't even have money, we don't have but you have money to give to people at the presidency.
Who are they giving money at the presidency?
Do you know the budget at the presidency for the presidency's budget?
But are the teachers not paid their salaries?
Yeah, teachers have been paid.
Compare that one to Akufo-Addo.
So you cannot say we are giving somebody money and leaving the teachers.
Is sitting there and taking over 14,000 cedis. Some 12,000 cedis. A presidential staff.
Oh, that's all you were taking before.
I am saying
that's all you were taking before.
Go
how
and
much
do your
were
checks.
they being paid under Akufo-Addo?
Well, that's all you were taking.
And do your
it was
checks.
even worse. They
I
were taking
saying
far more.
How much were they
We have
being paid
even
under
scaled
Akufo-Addo?
it down.
Today,
They were taking far more.
We sit here and a lot of budget has been given you government machinery. But you are telling the common teacher, the common closer person, the civil servant to tighten his belt because you don't have money.
Very well.
Really?
Very well. Let me
So
hear
for
from
me,
you.
I am thinking that this emolument commission, yes, when you look at Article 278 of the Constitution of Ghana, it doesn't stop us from actually setting up a commission of inquiry. if it's an inquiry or a commission to look into matters that, of course, of importance.
To address the
Now,
disparities in,
based on that, the president may have the right to set up a commission to look at whatever in the tentative. But I'm thinking that once we have an existing structure, which is a Fair Wages Commission, which works on the SSS, that's the single spine salary, and give the structure all facets of areas we're looked at. Let us look at it again. He spoke about policy review. It's not out of place. Let's look at it again. Sit with the labor unions. Understand, if the structure ought to be ameliorated, it's ameliorated and move on. But duplications and people to go and sit down and drink tea and then take biscuits, another here.
Thank you.
I think that the kind of things my brother and his government under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration were doing, he seemed to suggest that we're going to be doing same. You are aware how we came to government, we cut down the size of government, we cut down the government expenditure at the Flagstaff House or the office of the president, or we cut all of these things down. So whatever it is that we are doing now is better off than what they were. They were consuming more of it. Now, back to this issue we are talking about. In fact, it's sad for my brother to be talking this way. Remember, back in the days, I think in about 2019 or so, Labour went to government under the MPP and said, look, we are tired of your promises. We want to embark on industrial action. In fact, they even did. The government sat them down and said, look, we are going for elections. That was in 2019. Support us to go for elections. When we win the elections, we'll increase your salaries. See why I told you they've been employing chickenery to deceive Ghanaians. So they were able to coerce them into believing that after the elections, they'll increase their salary. They won the elections in 2020. 2021, Labour went to them again. They said, oh, give us up to 2023. They didn't mind them to 2023. And then when they went back to them in 2023, they said, oh, let's go for elections again in 2024. After elections, we'll give you the money. And then they lost the elections. You see, now we are inheriting the mess they left again from 2019 to 2025. You kept deceiving them.
Negotiated
Talk about you. You have the
I'm
power.
coming. Wait, allow me to finish.
What are you doing for them?
You have deceived them since 2019.
Negotiated terms and
We
conditions
want
of
power.
service for
We want power. And in just 1 year, or less than a year, we're able to give them salary increase of 9%. In less than a year, it's not enough. But we showed good faith. What did you do since 2019? You kept lying and deceiving workers. We, in less than a year, increased their salary to 9%. And what we are saying now is that let's go back to the drawing board. What we are asking them to go to let's go to, is something that we have done before. Under the fourth Republican democracy, the most sustainable salary structure was instituted by us, right? It was a single spine salary structure. We did it. It worked so well. Teachers were happy. Police were happy. In fact, all sectors of the economy were happy under the single spine salary structure. We've done it before. Over the years, we admit that time evolves. So it is prudent to go back to the drawing board and look at it again. And that is what His Excellency the President put before Labour, Clocksack. Now look, we want to be there for you. We have shown good faith. These people deceived you since 2019. We have shown good faith. In less than a year, we have given you 9%. We've made sure that we have reduced nuisance taxes from the system, just so that at least we'll be pushing a little bit under the economy. We have made sure that the dollar has also, drawn down. CD is stronger. So when you hold a little CD in your hands, it can acquire more than what you can acquire with the same amount of money under the MPP. That is a way to cushion you. We have also made sure that inflation has reduced drastically. And gradually, we are seeing the effects on our macroeconomic grounds. Where, if you recall, even just this December, when we went to the market women were screaming, shouting, celebrating. The fact that then, if you had 200 Ghana this December, you could buy a bag of rice.
200 cedis.
Yes, and get December. Oil. Yes, a bag of rice get oil and chicken.
How many
All
kilos
in the
of
200 cedis.
Please go on
Get
go on the
chicken
internet.
and get bag of rice and
What's
get
the
oil.
size? What's
Chicken.
the size of the bag of
Chicken.
rice?
They were getting rice.
You get rice, chicken, and
One
oil.
five, they were
No,
getting
this is serious.
wait.
Honorable, you are the honorable
They were
member of
getting
Parliament.
they were getting one bag of 5 kilos for less than 100 cedis.
And you get
so
chicken.
that's the
I'm
5
coming.
kg.
One bag of 5 kg for less than 100 cedis.
You get chicken.
They were getting chicken as much as 100 cedis, and the remaining
oil.
could buy oil.
200
The
cedis.
people themselves were
If this is
confessing.
100, no, please do your mathematics right. You said 200 cedis can give you chicken, oil, and
So if
rice.
you buy that
Now you
chicken,
have done 100
Wait,
too. No, which
I've
one
not
again?
I've not done 100. I said
Chicken
5
is 100.
kilos. Wait, 5 kilos.
It's 100.
It's less than 100.
Chicken is 100 and
wait.
oil is how much?
Please, you are mistaking yourself. I said one bag of 5 kilos was less than 100 cedis. They could get chicken for as low as 100 cedis, and the remaining bought oil.
Is it, you show me where I want to go and buy some.
It was all over social
I'm sure
media.
it is in
It was all over.
I will
Now
move
let's
there.
go. Let's go
Tomorrow
back.
is Salah. I have
Let's
to
get
go.
back. Let's
I have to go and get
Let's
this
get back to the
rice.
let's get back to the main issues. So you see, we have shown good faith, and we have been able to manage the economy this well, so that they will be cushioned from all of that. Aside the 9% increase, we are not leaving it there. We are not saying because we've given you 9%, that is it. No, we're saying that. Let us go back to the drawing board. Let us institute or review the policy, the pay policy that we have, which is a single spine, and improve upon that, and get a better system that will sustain us for God knows so many years to come. We have done it before. We have the track record. Unlike you, who just deceive workers. We don't deceive them. We are very upfront with them, very straightforward with them, and we tell them what it is that ought to be done. We know that they have issues with their wages. We understand that cost of living is also going down bit by bit because of the way we have managed the economy. We know that the employment conditions are things that ought to be looked at. So we are looking at a holistic challenge, not just isolating issues and dealing with them. You will never get anywhere. So this is a government, like I said, that has foresight. We think into the future and make sure that we plan properly.
Yeah.
So I told you we believe in the 5 P's principle.
Yeah.
Proper planning prevents poor
prevents
performance.
poor performance.
And that is what we are at again. We sit with them. We employ every means. Of course, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission are there.
Yeah.
We know. The Constitution or the law also didn't prevent us, because he mentioned the article, to establish a body. So we have not done anything contrary to the law.
Right.
We are following exactly what the law says.
Very well,
So what
very
is the challenge? The how do you call it? The leadership of Cloaksa believes in us. They know we've done it before, and they have seen reason with us to do this as together. And that is the more reason why they have called on their workers to go back. We didn't just throw all this into thin air without any specification or specifics. We have given them timelines. We are saying that in 2 weeks, in 14 days, we'll arrive at something as a collective in 14 days. This is a government that is visionary, a government that planned properly. We will not say we are going for elections, so wait and vote for us. When we come to power, we increase your salary, then we'll deceive you.
Nana,
we will not do that.
You see, I sit here and I do not, and I will never bow my head down in shame as an MPP member. Why? When we came in 2017, between 2017 and 2024, the public sector worker in Ghana experienced varying salary increases. Okay? And this is data ranging from as low as 4% in 2021 for base pay, and of course, to as high as 30%.
Okay.
Listen to this, 30% in 2023. Significant raises occurred late in the term to address high inflation and cost of living, including a 15% cost of living allowance. COLA. You remember the COLA?
Yeah, I remember
we did
COLA.
that.
Yeah.
In addition to your base pay. Now, I am telling you that in 2017 to 2020, average annual increase ranged between 10% and 12%, which we did. And it's a fact, we can cross-check it. 2021, we increased the base pay to about 4%. And 2022, we added COLA to it, the 15%. Then 2023, we had 30% salary increment was applied for public sector workers.
Like, where are you reading this from?
I have
have my document here. I can give it to you. You can read it.
Where? What is
I am
the
saying
source?
that.
Yeah, so that we know
What
the
is the
source.
source?
You can, this is public knowledge. You can easily.
What
Google
is
it.
public knowledge?
Salary
Tell us the
increment. Go
source.
ahead.
Someone have just
And
sent
I am
something to me.
nobody. So you see,
Someone has
I am
sent
telling
something
you
to him
that
and it's
we
read.
sit here.
Oh, no, please,
That's why I'm telling you that.
What
Finally,
is the source? Come
by
on.
2024,
You're on national
we had
television.
again 2023%.
You're on national
increment.
television.
So
Tell
when
us
you
the source.
accumulate all,
Tell
the
us the
public
source.
sector
Oh my God.
worker was better off under the MPP than the rhetorics that they have been subjected to today.
Oh my goodness.
Today it is about rhetorics, it's about talks. You came and begged, and you see what they have done, the mismanagement economy, blah, 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 blah. Look, you have been given work to do. Stop blaming others. Stop talking. The talk is cheap. When you came with your oral and said we have this, who have you arrested in oral?
Oh, so many
How
people
about
are,
their cases
people
in
are going to
courts?
court.
My brother,
People are going to court.
There's national service
they
scandal
raise
in
your
court.
hopes.
People
There's,
are going to
Who
court.
that
mining
told you,
cases in
Nana,
court.
that
There's
from 21
Signals Bureau
listen,
case in
NDC
court.
cannot
Let me
incarcerate
tell
them.
you,
They have to go through the legal processes.
Let me tell you why they are so much. They are confidence.
This is not a
fixers.
kangaroo
Let me tell
country.
you.
We can't just jail people.
Somebody
They have
came
to
and
go
stood
through the
in the
processes.
system.
Somebody
This is not a
stood-
kangaroo country.
See, in front
We
of
are not
the
in a
cameras.
banana republic.
I am saying that
Just a
somebody
second.
stood in front of the cameras, looked us in the face, and said that the nation has actually been shorting to the tune of close to $21 billion. And that if they succeed in their recoveries, oral alone, some $21 billion US dollars. Charlie, this is a big money that will be recouped. Today, I beg you, how much has been recovered?
People are in
We'll
court.
put a question to the AG
How
to
much?
find out.
This is the people.
People are in court.
They have studied the trend of Ghanaians and they are playing on our emotions. They think they want to come and talk, and talk is cheap. That's the NDC for you. Talk is cheap. They'll come and play on your emotion, say things, and the next moment is otherwise. That's why I have proven with data what we have done for the public sector.
Data from which source?
The best you could do for them
From
in
which source?
2016.
You did not give us your source.
The
though.
best
Data
you
from
could
which
do
source?
for 2016. You can look at statistical service. You can look at the data.
You can't sit on
Very
national
well.
television
Cheryl,
and just
I am the
read
best they could
anything.
do in 2016
You can't just
was
read
to tell you that they had assumed a dead goat syndrome and that they won't listen to the Ghanaian worker. They will not listen.
That's in the past.
Ethiopia.
That's in the past. Now they are
That's the
listening.
same
Now they are
poster today.
engaging.
Now today they are not. They are fattening their bellies and they are
us your
telling the
source.
public sector to tighten their belt.
Very well, Alaji. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
it is-
Final take on this.
Thank you. I think that this is funny.
It's not funny. Just give us data. Tell us what you've done for them.
It is funny. I'm telling you that we don't just talk. We act. Telling Ghanaians what the truth is not just complaining. Before you take action, you must accept what it is that you have inherited. And we are telling them that, look, this is what we are faced with. We are not leaving you hanging in there, but we are going to take steps. We reminded them of the single salary spine structure that we instituted. We told them we've done it before. And we want to do it again for them, not in isolated measures, but holistically. And for that matter, they should let us go back to the drawing board for 2 weeks,
Right.
14 days. And that is where we are now.
Very well.
They have accepted because they know we are more trustworthy. They know when we say it, we will do it. Because we said it before,
But
we
when
did
you
it.
say more, that means you are comparing.
Oh yes. As compared to the MPP, we are.
Where is the women development?
As
Is it
compared
there?
to the MPP, oh
Have they
yes.
established the
Oh
women
yes.
It's in the offing.
Oh yes. You
After,
see,
after 2025 budget, 2026
It's
budget.
in the
still.
offing.
that is the
It's in the
problem
offing.
they
Where is
have,
the
and that is
women
why they are
development?
always wrong in the end.
No, where is the
they
women
rush
development?
into doing things.
No rushing.
We
You
are
take your
putting
time.
yes.
Based on the
We are
principles of the
putting-
5 Ps.
Thank you.
Where are
And
the
when we
16
roll
farmer
it out,
center?
it will not fail.
The regional farmer center.
When we
2025
roll
budget.
it out-
The president is starting on Saturday.
Thank you.
Felix Ofosukwati said
Thank you.
that there's going to be
It's my
600
time.
chips. Where are
I
they?
think it's my time.
The
Allow me
president
to
chips
say
come
it.
down.
The president
You
announced
know.
yesterday at the Agro-Tech Fair that he's starting on
Felix said in 1
Saturday.
year there will be 600 chips compound. Where are they? Have they been built?
Please, you couldn't build agenda.
When you asked him, he was now
You
whining.
couldn't do anything and
These are the
that. You
people.
had 8 years.
Alaji, thank
8
you.
years, you
Thank
couldn't
you.
do
Thank you.
anything
Alaji,
under
thank you.
agenda
Thank you.
111.
Honorable.
And in 1 year, you want us to do what?
Anyway.
We are doing what you're going to do. And that's exactly what we are at. Please, we are telling
God.
organized labor to continue to have faith in His Excellency John Mahama. He has done it before.
Yeah.
We have what it takes to do it. We've assured them that we'll do it and do it so well that they'll be happy as workers. They should take it from us.
Right.
But I want Honorable to show me where the deal I can get 200 cedis because Salah is coming.
Let's go.
I have my 200
Let's
cedis and I need the chicken, I need
After-
oil,
after
and I
they
need
show
rice.
you-
I'll be very glad.
Follow me to
If you either take it there or send you the
But
body.
I'll give you the
Yes,
answer.
I mean,
Follow me to Katamanto Market.
The hardship.
He says follow him to the
me
market.
to
I
He'll
need
show
some
you.
oil and rice.
And I'm
He'll
being
show you.
specific.
You know?
Follow me to Kantamanto Market.
Oh,
Let's go from
okay.
there.
Very well, very well. Just a quick one on District Assembly's
Yeah.
Common Fund. Parliament has approved the allocation, 8.7 billion cedis. What do you expect to happen now that this allocation has been approved?
Well, I think development must actually be seen to be at the local level. I mean, if you travel throughout this country, of the 260 something districts that we have, if I'm correct, you realize that the disparities is just too high. We have some districts basically that cannot even generate internal funds, and they're suffering actually. So this is good news. If indeed, you see, sometimes it's not just money on paper. If indeed it's money that we have to send out there. But let me commend this government since they came. I mean, I'm having following it. I am an advocate for the rural area.
Right.
And I recall when the district chief executive were called to Parliament and to account. I followed my district, for instance, Nantong. I'm from the Nantong constituency. Basically, let me say good morning to them today. And even though my district chief executive, my sister Rosina, was actually struggling a bit, but the fact that they had a whooping then over 6 million Ghana cedis to work with, I was so glad about it, because if we decentralize same, and then I've heard that some municipalities have gotten 17 million, some have gotten this millions or whatever. It's not about just the allocation. If the money comes, with the greatest of respect, improve the living conditions of the people with it, with the development. So yes, it's good news. It has to come, and we need to, all government upon government should enhance rural development to help us as it were. So I think it's a good thing.
No, this will take some pressure off the MP's Common Fund.
Thank you.
When you go to the constituency, the pressure will come down small, but the DC now will get some money.
Of course.
Interestingly, the DC have to sign for them to even get the Common Fund, though.
That's the point. I'm coming to that. The MP's Common Fund is not directly handed to the MP. If you have a project, whether social intervention, whether fiscal, or what have you, you just write to the assembly that this is what you want to do, and then they will, call for bidding and what have you. Then they select the contractor, whoever, to take, action on what you want. The most important thing is that what you want done is done for you. That is the MP's bit of it, but it doesn't come to us.
Is this arrangement proper? Are you MPs okay with this arrangement?
I think that for me as a member, you don't administer it. I think as a member of Parliament, it's okay. It is done for the purposes of, oversight, because you may not know who will want to just carry that money. The money belongs to the people. It's not for the MP.
True.
So if there's that we have oversight on even the president as members of Parliament. True. If he wants to spend, we have to, scrutinize and say, okay, we are approving this budget. We are doing this. We are doing that. So if the president himself have to go through this, who is a member of Parliament? I think that it is right just so we can have oversight and make sure the money is used prudently for the people. Yes, once again, God bless His Excellency John Mahama for doing this. It is about 16%, a little over 16% from, what he gave them in 2025. So year in, year out, the intention is to increase it. And like my brother Kamal said, MMDAs have seen something they haven't seen in so many years, because what they even got in their first year is something that, let me not be comparable, but they haven't seen in just 1 year.
Right.
It is good news. What Kamal said is that having the money is one thing, but making good use of it is the other thing. And that is why the president has asked us not to sit on our oils. What we have done as I'm a member of the Select Committee on Local Government. Right. So what we do is that we tour the country, visit the assemblies, and see what they are doing. They report to us what they are doing with their monies. We go to the sites to go and inspect whatever it is that we're doing. Just about 2 weeks ago, we were in Western and then the Central region to see, you know, how well they are developing the chips compounds, they are developing the boreholes, they are drilling for their people, the school blocks they are building, the hospitals, and in fact, all these things we went to see. We also took the opportunity to identify or to see the identified areas for the 24-hour markets. We have seen the places beautiful, very close to the roadside, and all is ready.
Hopefully,
for the
we see a
24-hour
proper
market
implementation. And
so I want to say a big thank you. This will go a long way. And as Ghanaians, we should make sure that we do what is right.
Thank you.
Use these monies at the local level, because we know that when you centralize everything at the top, it does not really trickle down that well.
Development at the
you
local
understand?
level.
When we push monies down, the people benefit. And that is what we want to see.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Alfred Nikote Ashi, a member of Parliament, Odododio, and Alhaji Kamaldeen Abdullahi, the Deputy National Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party. Thank you so much, gentlemen. This has been good. Hopefully, we get to continue the conversations. Thank you also for sending in your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. This has been the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. Don't go away. The show continues after this.